All right, let's go ahead and turn that on. There we go. All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Q&A live stream number 130. It is approximately 8:27 p.m. right here on the East Coast in the great state of New Jersey. Today is March 17th, 2021. So a couple of things to go over. Actually, a few things to go over. First of all, it was 1 year ago today, that all non-essential retailers had to close due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And unfortunately, it was 1 year ago today that the Macy's store at the Broadway Commons Mall in Hicksville, New York, closed for the final time. Unfortunately, the same can be said for the Macy's store in Commack, New York as well. As everybody knows, that particular Macy's store never opened up again to the public, as by the time they started reopening non-essential retailers in New York State, what's it called? By that time, of course, the lease ran out, and there was already the plan to put the BJ's Wholesale Club, and pretty much any resemblance of the Macy's in Commack is now completely gone. So, yeah. Also, the last remaining Macy's locations, that's right now including the two liquidating stores at the Gallery at White Plains and the one in upstate New York. Those two stores are expected to shut down. This Sunday will be the final day of operation, including a single Bloomingdale's as well out on the West Coast in Santa Monica, California. So a couple of major closures this weekend with Macy's, of course. And then, of course, we do have some more closures coming up with Sears next month. And then we have an additional Sears closure list going to be done by beginning of May. And then by then we should have our next round of Sears and Kmart stores that are expected to be shutting down. So lots of closings between now and May. That's just the way I see it. So anyways. So I have to run to the bathroom, guys. I will be right back, but don't go anywhere because we have some other things to talk about as well. My apologies, everyone. I am now officially back. Okay, I'm pretty good, Scorch. How are you? Hello, Mohammed Sonic Boom. How are you? Um, so you think the next Sears and Kmart list will be the final? No, I think there's going to be three more rounds. There's going to be a round announced in May. There's going to be another round, I believe, announced in July or August, and then there'll be one more list in fall. That's the end of Sears and Kmart. After that, I don't see the company going forward after those lists of stores that are going to close. There's no future after that. And today, they just laid off about 67 workers at a calling center in San Antonio, Texas. So it's the dominoes are starting to fall for Sears and Kmart. It's the stores are essentially over. Personally, I have a lot of cords here, guys. So I do apologize. Put that over there for now. But yeah, essentially Sears and Kmart as a retail store, both of them are just essentially none at this point. They're going to close the rest. It's interesting too how they close locations. But yeah, no, the brands, the stores themselves are essentially done. Like I said, there's going to be one round in May. There's going to be another round in July, and then there'll be one more round September, October. That's it. The end. Sears and Kmart are probably going to be gone. I would say probably, and this is we'll see. Probably by this Christmas Eve, Sears and Kmart will cease to exist. The company does not have a path forward. At the end of the day, at this point now, it's just all about the real estate. I mean, even today in San Antonio, Texas, they just laid off 67 people at a call center. So I mean, that's pretty much it. The loud hand dryer. Your CVS actually has a bathroom. I'm very surprised that it's if it's in New York City, it's different. Yeah, it's supposed to be one list in May, and then it's going to be another list in July, and then there'll be one more list in the fall that closes them all. So at this point, I'm just waiting for Jersey City, and that's when I'm going to make my final Sears trip ever. Imagine Kmart beating Walmart. Yeah, that's not likely. I think many people have moved on from Kmart at this point. I mean, Kmart's not even going to be administering COVID-19 vaccines. The Kmart's it's essentially done. That's pretty much what it is. In my opinion, prior to COVID, Lord and Taylor should have kept their only store alive, the flagship of Fifth Avenue store. Yeah, so the writing was on the wall for Lord and Taylor, and at the time when Hudson Bay owned them, the Hudson Bay was desperate for money, so that's why they sold the building. It's sad though. I still can't believe they did that. That's why I'm not like a huge fan of Hudson's Bay. Yeah, they're running Saks Fifth Avenue, but I mean, even that's like and there's not too many Saks Fifth Avenues. There is not a single Saks Fifth Avenue store in New Jersey. New York has two of them, the City and Walt Whitman Shops. Although they want to open up American Dream, but I don't even know how that Saks Fifth Avenue is going to work, honestly. I really don't know. Yeah, but it was probably a 141. I went into a Kmart maybe 7 years ago in like 2011. I remember going in there. Actually, I was in the last Kmart I was in West Orange, and that was just to film the elevator, the escalators, and the card escalators. It's the last time I think I ever walked into a Kmart, and that was only because it was 2 floors. Hello, Carlos hates COVID-19. How are you? Yeah, if that's your local CVS, be happy that you have a CVS that has a bathroom. My local CVS, no bathrooms, no bathrooms at all. Hey Joe, how are you, man? And hello. Oh wait, no, I just read that. I just saw that in the chat. Um, but yeah, it's lots going on with retail and stuff. The bid for Office Depot and Staples was rejected. Toys R Us is coming back. Oh, that is your local. Okay, wow. My local CVS does not have bathrooms at all. So There's a mall CVS at the Staten Island Mall, I believe. Yes, and that became the Boscov store. What else do we have here? Ooh. Um, check NY Warren notice. They just filed some more notices for WeWork, so that whole WeWork thing is definitely falling apart. I'm sure Hudson Bay sold it for less what they got it for, and they took a huge loss on that building. What a shame. Yeah, WeWork is laying off a lot of people. That's why I'm checking New York Warren notice. The Warren notices were sent out today, actually, and really no other NJ Warren notices right now. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I would love to play music, but I know a lot of it's copyrighted, so I can't really play any music, unfortunately, because you get hit with a copyright strike. Yeah, it is, but I don't really know what form it's going to come back in. Honestly, it's a capital in firm, so great. They're already it already smells like a pile of shit. I don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna come back personally. I think Morristown Mall is going to be a mixed use development, and I think you'll see the property drop the mall name probably. I heard Massachusetts is actually going to start administering vaccines in April, so I did hear that too. You're absolutely right. I did watch the address just to be informed of what's going on. But I think it's going to even be pushed earlier than that. I would say like maybe the second to last week in April. Personally, I mean we have what we have Johnson and Johnson, we have Moderna and Pfizer. I can't imagine it being that much later. Plus, if you have another company that comes out, that really accelerates the process. So, I mean, think about it. You got Pfizer, you got Moderna, and you have what's it called? Um, and Johnson and Johnson. But it's good. It's definitely good. Yeah, we don't really have Jordan's furniture around here. Yes, the Strawbridges used to be where the Nordstrom is now. That's why Nordstrom was able to get a fifth location at the time. There's four now, thanks to the whole COVID thing. We lost Freehold. I'm still kind of upset about that, but I get why they had to close Freehold. It was too close to Menlo Park. It was, and it was between Menlo Park and Cherry Hill. Um, but I get why they closed that Nordstrom in particular, the Freehold one, just because it was sandwiched between two different metropolitan areas, and I guess Menlo Park must have been the better store for them. But even then, they downsized Menlo Park, so I'm surprised they did that. But I think Freehold was much smaller than Menlo Park, so I think that's why they did that. Yeah, I believe my Macy's and Paramus, and both of them actually, Westfield Garden State and Paramus Park, both have Peely doors for the freight elevators. I don't know. I used to have one near me. The closest one now is in Hackensack, sadly. No, you don't need to worry about that. If you got to help someone with homework, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, my Rite Aid got converted to a Walgreens, I believe, in it was either 2019 or 2020. Because I remember I bought it. I actually bought something there for my one of my local toy drives actually, and I helped to donate something. Around the holidays. This was when I was a freshman in college. This was actually late 2019, so almost 2 years ago. Yeah, and that's where they were able to put that two-story wing. But even that's like not great. I'm surprised Nordstrom is holding on to that location. But Apple has a really nice store there now, and I really want to visit it. But it's like an hour and a half down the south in the Turnpike. Tolls can be really expensive. That's the issue, of course. Yes, I do, and I actually watched a documentary on HBO Max. It was a really cool documentary. It was like they put that together so well. Like I couldn't have seen a better one. That was a crazy documentary too. I really liked it personally. But yeah, it's now called Mountain Creek, and they actually closed the Tarzan swing in that other slide, and I get why. Yeah, it's not the park that it once was, but I think it's still a pretty crazy place in my opinion. Yeah, Fortnite's not exactly the school smart game to play. Yeah, I don't really like Fortnite. Personally, it's just I never like I played it once. I hated it. I don't get why kids like it so much, but I know it's finally dying down. I'm just not. I don't know. You just go in and you just shoot people. Just doesn't seem fun to me at least. No, you're thinking of Moorestown Mall. Moorestown Mall had a Strawbridges and Clothier, and Cherry Hill also had a Strawbridges and Clothier. The Macy's at Cherry Hill Mall used to be a Bamberger's, which was a department store based in Newark. Ironically enough, Hain& Company was based in Newark as well, but they don't do downtown department stores like that anymore, unless it's New York City, of course. Yeah, Hackensack was the worst Saks, Fifth Avenue in New Jersey. I like the Short Hills location much better personally, and that used to be a Millburn, and they moved to Short Hills. Yeah, now the Short Hills cab and the Woolman cab were both identical, but the Saks at Short Hills was definitely better than the Saks Fifth Avenue at what was it? Just for yeah, no, the Hackensack store was not great at all. That was a really dumpy sack, and they had the basement actually closed off for many years, so they were only using the main sales level, and the upper one. And that elevator, even before the mod was done, it was a piece of junk, and the mod just made it even worse. What a waste of a modernization, though. They modernized it in 2013. 1 year later, announces the store's closing, and I'm not surprised personally that they closed that store. And they closed it. They said they closed it in favor of American Dream, but I mean, look where we are 7 years later, and the Saks Fifth Avenue still is not open. I still can't believe they gave up Short Hills for American Dream. I can't believe Hudson Bay would pull a quick one like that. Like you don't leave Short Hills. You don't leave that mall. I mean, think about it. That mall has a Nordstrom, a Neiman Marcus, a Bloomingdale's, and a Macy's. So I think that was a very dumb move on Hudson Bay personally. Yeah, most Rite Aids got converted to Walgreens. Very few stayed as Rite Aids, and I think that's just because there are other Walgreens nearby, so they didn't want to necessarily completely retire the Walgreens name. Freehold, but I think they're going to start shifting their resources to Monmouth, given that Nordstrom left Freehold Raceway. Hi, Chris, and everyone in the stream. Just want to say happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you. Yeah, you too. I didn't really celebrate this year, but thanks. I was kind of doing school stuff anyway. I was kind of busy. I had some school stuff to do. Even though I'm on spring break, I had to start working on a couple of projects there. Yeah, Macy's Cherry Hill used to be Hamburgers. Yeah, it did. That one closed along with Hamilton Mall at the time. Yeah, if it's ruining your grades, I would definitely shift your focus. Yeah, now it can get really addicting. The worst thing that I've seen with Fortnite and is kids, little kids. They literally spend their parents' money on V Bucks. The most ridiculous thing, V Bucks. Yeah, you know, I find it to be ridiculous. I find it to be absolutely ridiculous. Like you have all that hard spend money, earn money that you worked for, and you're spending it on stupid V Bucks for skins that first of all don't even do anything to make your character better. I think it's just a waste of time, Fortnite. I'm sorry. I do so many other better things. Yeah, I like playing Xbox and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love playing with my friends once in a while, but you got to go see things. You got to go explore. Like there's so much outside of the world in video games, and a lot of kids don't see that nowadays. I'm lucky that I was able to live in the time that I grew up. I was able to live in the age of seeing things and going to parks. That's fun, and going to different malls, seeing different areas. you know because let me tell you something, no park or no mall is the same, that's for sure. Yes, that's correct, Brandon. There was four. We had five thanks to the Cherry Hills store opening in the late 2000s, and now we're down to four once again because of Freehold Raceway closing. If you've ever seen CB9120's video of the freight elevator at Sears and White Plains, I will say that is why I don't risk filming freight elevators. The only time I really film freight elevators is if I'm given permission prior to visiting the place. But yeah, I don't really film freight elevators. I think that's just, it's not worth the risk. And you could, it's just not worth it sometimes. Uh, Alex, you're a little late on that one, but it's really St. Patrick's Day. But yeah. No, the mall, the source is 2 miles from Roosevelt Field. Smith Haven is a little bit more out. How is DSW doing? I just heard they're closing 65 stores, so I don't know. And they just laid off some workers too. I think 67, the same amount that a Sears Call Center laid off. Yeah, basically. I mean, I don't look. I have an Xbox, but I barely play my Xbox. So, but yeah, I've seen times where parents just go destroying consoles because they just burn up their parents' account. Like it's crazy that kids do that kind of crap. I would never stand for it because I think it's just why would you waste your time with something like that? But kids can be stubborn, unfortunately. And depending on the group of kids you hang out with is even worse because all they care about is Fortnite and fashion and this is going to make me look great and I'm going to get all the girls. Like there's more to life than that crap, really. I mean, honestly, that's just me. That's just me. You know, that's just how I feel. No, because you would get in trouble by your real estate company. Hi, Las Vegas elevators. How are you? Wow, someone joining from the West Coast. That's definitely new. Yeah, I did it many years ago, spending my parents' money, but I try not to. I'm not surprised. That parent was probably real upset. Oh, that is such a classic joke just to get you on a video game. Wait, let me see the Cherry Hill one first. Yes, I know. Brandon, we know it opened up in March of 2019, 2009, and then Freehold closed. Yeah, 11 years after the Cherry Hill Nordstrom closed, Freehold closed 11 years later. Well, no one could have counted on the pandemic. Have you ever tried Fell before? Nope. Ooh, custom ThyssenKrupp traditional. That's fun. My friend told me to play Fortnite and he'll get me a girl. I was only 10 years old. Wow, that's not even who even says that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna play. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, if you play Fortnite, I can get you a girlfriend. That's such a fucking tease. I'm sorry. I try not to be critical, but I mean, come on. There's so many other ways you could lure someone into telling them, oh, if you do this for me. But I mean, just to play Fortnite to get you a girlfriend, like that. I mean, that's right there. Just that sentence. The guy's full of shit. I try not to use some of the bad words. I like to keep these live streams G-rated because you don't know who's watching or listening. So I try to keep it PG. I don't know. But yeah, no. What a scam. What an absolute scam. But not as badly scammed. I've seen much worse. That's still pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think that's a whole scam. Well, good. I'm glad you did. Oh, you build malls? Oh my god, I built a mall on my Minecraft map. I never finished it though. But that's cool, I guess. I've never heard of Fortnite. Well, I'm definitely not going to continue to keep explaining it. It's a stupid game anyway. I don't want to waste my time with that. Well, good. You don't want to be friends with people who manipulate you. I may not that I ever played video games like that, but let's just say I know some friends who have gone down that path, unfortunately. But I've kind of helped them and put them back in the right direction. So that's a good thing, I guess. Anyways, so I actually did not know this. There are actually two Michael stores in Clifton. Yeah, shocking. And they're actually both right off of Route 3 West. Now, the only reason I see this happening was because I believe there used to be an AC Moore Crafts in Clifton. And my guess is Michael's bought the property, but it's so weird. Like you already have a Michael's on Route 3. Why would you want another one? That's just overstoring. They're definitely going to close one of the two. They're either going to close the one at the Riverfront Center or they're going to close the one in Clifton. But I'm really shocked that they have two. Like, that's just wow. Me too. Yeah. 20, but I haven't finished it. But one that was any but one that was terrible. Oh, okay. Interesting. He called me a simp. Of course he did, because he thinks that he was better than everybody else. Kids that are immature and just don't know what, going through their tween years before becoming a teen. Ugh. Some kids, they just give me the nerves. But I'm an adult now, so I can, cope with things like that. Someone forced me to get a stupid iPad. Well, iPads are not stupid. I mean, I've never used one for my learning because I have a laptop, but I think iPads are definitely good for little kids personally because it helps their creativity, and that goes right into what RL said about Minecraft. Yeah, during the pandemic, I actually bought myself an Xbox subscription, and at the time when we were under quarantine, when I was done with class for the day, I just hop on Minecraft and just build. I was creativity. I actually went through a lot of tutorials on YouTube and built a lot of great stuff. But times have changed, and people are now getting the COVID vaccine in their arms. So that's where we are there. Yeah, I think my brother plays the Need for Speed, but I don't play. I barely play Xbox. I think there are two Michaels stores in Paramus, or no, there's only one. My guess is Michaels didn't acquire that spot. But I think it's really weird. I think it's really weird that Clifton has two of them, personally. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's really weird. And I wasn't a fan of the one in what was it? Frick. Yeah, because there's a Michaels in Sea Caucus. There's a Michaels in what is it? There's a Michaels in Clifton and Sea Caucus and West New York. There's two in Clifton, which is very weird to me. And they're really close to each other too. I find that to be really weird. I'm sure they're going to correct that pretty soon. Yeah, there's only one Michaels in Paramus. There's a Michaels in Wayne. There's a Michaels in Parsippany, or what is this? Oh, Lake Hawata, or excuse me, or Troy Hills. And there's also a Michaels near that REI in that Livingston, Florham Park, Short Hills area of New Jersey. So yeah, they might close the one on Route 3. No, you didn't. You found a ThyssenKrupp elevator with a fan in Las Vegas. Wow, that's pretty rare, given that Las Vegas is pretty hot during certain times of the years. Yeah, no Michaels in New Jersey's have elevators, but New York they do. Not New Jersey though. Yeah, there's one in that plaza with the or no, no. There's an oldie in the parking deck where there's a Burlington store. And then there's one, yeah, North Bergen. Burlington is actually leaving their area that they're in Secaucus currently, and they're relocating to the Plaza in Harbor Meadow, which makes total sense because they could slide right in between the TJ Maxx and the Bob's Discount Furniture, which is nice. The Mall at Millennia has an IKEA. That's probably out in the parking lot. Oh, Troy Hills, that makes sense. Then you should go do it. Wow, a lot of people on here today. I actually have to move some things. Levittown, I think Levittown's on the South Shore, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. With the direction that Freehold is going, yes. Godiva's out. Disney's closing March 23rd. Nordstrom is gone. Lord & Taylor is gone. It's not looking too good for Freehold Raceway Mall. And I could even see Make Eric giving up ownership of that mall. And as much as it hurts me to say that, Nordstrom is definitely the death blow for that mall. I mean, that was an important anchor for that mall. That anchor was keeping the mall together, basically. Have you ever went to a King supermarket in Ridgewood once? I wasn't a fan of it. I was not a fan of it. But there's things I like and there's things that like. I wasn't a huge fan of the Michaels store in Clifton. I thought it was only okay. The new one. Like it was literally just they took over an old AC Moore. That's basically what it was. And then AC Moore went out, and then that was the end of AC Moore Crafts. But yeah, that's my opinion on that Michaels store. I really didn't see anything else today. But pretty soon, probably tomorrow. I don't even know. Tomorrow's supposed to rain all day, unfortunately, and I'm probably gonna do schoolwork tomorrow, unfortunately. Yeah, I know the one week that I have off from college, it's just nothing but awful weather. But that's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, actually. But yeah, I wish I could play music for you guys, but a lot of it's copyrighted, and the second I play music, it'll pick up a copyright. If IKEA is going to go anywhere on Long Island, they want to go somewhere where there's going to be traffic. But they can't go in Garden City, although I know they'd want to be in Garden City that badly. But who knows? Yeah, the last day for the Macy's at the Galleria at White Plains is Sunday, March 21st, 2021. That's the final and last day of operation for that store. Yeah, and with spring break, it's a little bit easier because I don't have as much work. Actually, a week ago, um, I had a very like just awful assignment that I had to do. So if it has MEI chimes, then it's an MEI Schindler, I believe. It would not be a ThyssenKrupp. Safe tier at failing tier. I think people pretty much know what malls are good and what malls are bad. You know, in Jersey at least, we got Westfield Garden State Plaza, Willowbrook Mall, the Mall at Short Hills, Bridgewater Commons, Quaker Bridge Mall, Rockaway Town Square, Cherry Hill Mall, that are all S malls. F malls would be like Livingston, Freehold Raceway. Um, what's another one? That's another one. Oh yeah, Moorestown, which is not too great. Phillipsburg, and yeah, I can't think of any others. New York, definitely Broadway Commons. Yes, I have written Houghton elevators. The Macy's Willowbrook I rode, that was a Houghton. And then they unfortunately modded that in 2016. Not a fan of the mod, but I'm glad they kept the original Houghton fixtures. I think that was a nice touch. And they kept the Bamberger's design inside the elevator at Willowbrook, which is what I like. Yeah, so I've ridden both Houghton elevators and escalators. I've even rode Schindler Houghtons. Paramus, when the mall, the Westfield Garden State Plaza had one. Never. Oh no, you know what? I did ride the elevator at Daffy's. Oh man, who remembers Daffy's? So many years ago. Can't believe that much time has passed by. Yeah, man. Who remembers Daffy's? I don't even think they have a Wikipedia page. Lomans. You got them, and you have Lomans. I think they're still online though. Oh, oh God! I'm on one of those e-commerce websites. Oh well, what can you do? Yeah, but Century 21, I believe, is coming back. It used to be a clothing store. Yeah, I think so. I think Walden definitely has some losses. So I think that mall's in trouble. Playground Pier is essentially done. Really? Okay. It was a clothing store. So I can't officially confirm that, but it could still be coming. I think it is still going to come. It's just they're probably renegotiating the lease on that spot in the mall because I know Century 21 is coming back. So we'll see what stores come back. It's we'll just have to wait and see. It's one of those things. Hello, Guard Stay Elevators. How are you? If it has MEI chimes, then it's ThyssenKrupp. Hopefully, there's nothing on my phone. Welcome to the. I didn't know I had my volume on. My apologies. Half. Interesting. I am guilty, yes, sometimes. But sometimes it's convenient because, something like Sears and stuff. No, it's not the same. It's not not Bridgewater Commons. It wouldn't be the right mall for a Century 21. Nice. Wow, that's the way to do it. Yeah, I think I'm going for either Pfizer or Moderna, but I haven't scheduled anything yet. But I'm waiting. No, I have not been to any malls in Massachusetts. Yeah, I'm not surprised Target would pick that up. But no, Century 21 is definitely not going to Bridgewater. You got a Primark there, and I don't think that's a good location for Century 21. Personally, I think it would ruin the mall. Although it might not be a bad idea, but I don't know. Yes, I know. I've been on that Schindler Vandal Resistant at the Fashion Show Mall in Las Vegas. Dillard's for Bridgewater? No, definitely not. Yes, I wore a mask. I've been wearing a mask since April, ever since the mask mandate. That's how long I've been wearing a mask. Yeah, no, I hate people who don't wear the mask. I think that's a little disrespectful. I think Acme's a little bit higher quality than Pathmark, but in a ways it's slightly more expensive than like ShopRite and Stop and Shop. In a way, it is more expensive. But ShopRite is like the number one supermarket in New Jersey. ShopRite is New Jersey based. It is Jersey everything ShopRite. ShopRite is the largest supermarket in New Jersey. Just there's just no other way to put it. They're everywhere. Wow, I can't believe they would do that in Wuhan. And I'll say something. I'll say something really interesting. When this is at the time I was living away at college. Yeah, I know, no cases either. That's incredible. They were actually offering studying abroad for China. I was like, no, nah, I'm not going to do that. That was like the best decision I ever made because now look at where we are with this whole pandemic. Yeah, I'll tell you, I think we are going to see some in-person classes, but even then, there's so many question marks. There's so many unknowns still. Like we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. We could see another surge again, but who knows? Who knows? Yeah, Stop and Shop is just expensive. Yeah, they have the giant supermarkets there. I know about those. They would, but the vaccine's going to play an even bigger role than masks. Masks still play a big role, don't get me wrong, but yeah. GAL fixtures up here at least, but like in the central part, I've been to one I think in Lawrenceville that had a Dover. My local shop, right, which was when I was living in Mercer County, was at the Hamilton Marketplace Garden Sale. I don't know where that is. It says really big mall, strip mall. It's in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, and that shop right over there has a Schindler 330A. It was one, I think it was my first ever 330A I rode, but that was when I was a little kid. It's definitely a childhood elevator, that's for sure. Nordstrom Rack never closed a store in New Jersey. They've closed several stores in New York, and they're right now in the process, I guess, of closing the Nordstrom Rack in Huntington Station. I guess it really depends on who built the building, but I don't know who ShopRite's thing. Yeah, Schindler seems to be common. Avenel has one too, I believe. Well, the only way that American Dream would get a performing arts center is if they take over the Izod property. That's the only way that they're going to get some kind of performing center. I don't even know what's going to happen. They honestly they need to just take the Izod Center down, in my opinion. Well, that's probably what they use then if they like ThyssenKrupp. But what was I going to say? I think I have some more content going up tomorrow. I think yes, but I think the Palisades Center Ferris wheel is still closed. It's been closed since the pandemic, but I believe it's opening up March 26th. Yeah, just too much crazy stuff going on. Crazy shooting yesterday in Atlanta. Just crazy. There's a lot of sick people out there, guys. A lot of sickos. Hmm. Wow, there's a lot of people on here. I didn't realize it. Oh, okay. I guess it's a changed name. That's fine. I guess it depends on who the cheapest bidder is. Because interestingly enough, the Zara at American Dream has an Otis Hydrofit. I really thought it was going to be a 330A. Oof. Ouch. Within 2 weeks. No, there is no performing arts center at West Garden State Plaza. They're in partnership with one, but there's no like true performing arts center there. Harrisburg, PA, Sears, and closed auto center. That's great. Nice to know their auto center's gone. Probably means that store's going to close next. Who knows, though? Just crazy. So, yes, I believe so. I'm pretty good, Toy Sonic. Yeah, I'm sure those plans have been scrapped. Yep. Well, probably if they're having issues at the mall. But, anyways. So, all right, guys. So, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Thank you all for watching, and that will be it.